Research and Advisory is proud to present the Trending Echoes podcast from the Global Media Congress in Abu Dhabi today on the 16th of November 2023. My name is Stephen Scarlett from the Trends Global team, and today's topic is the role of youth in driving sustainable change. Joining us today on Trending Echoes is Sheikha Al Tanaiji, who handles the Outreach and Stakeholder Management portfolio within the renewable energy sector. Sheikha received her degree in Integrated Strategic Communications from Zayed University, since which time you've been consistently a champion for youth empowerment, not only through the formal program, but also of your own initiative. Sheikha, I'm so happy to welcome you here today for what I'm sure will be an enlightening and relevant discussion.
Thank you, Stephen, for hosting me. I would like to express my gratitude for Trends Research for hosting me at the Global Media Congress. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's our pleasure. We're sure it's going to be a wonderful and above all relevant, policy discussion to youth. I noticed that your experience is characterized by a twin commitment both to climate matters, and this predates COP, well before COP, and also to the cause of youth empowerment. Now, normally when we see a combination of our daily lives with our personal values and our deeply held beliefs, we get an extraordinary result. But Sheikha, can you just tell our listeners, who is Sheikha?
Who is Sheikha? That's a good question. I always remind myself every while and then. Sheikha is a young professional who started her sustainability path 5 years ago, working for a company that invests in renewable energy. And this journey has sparked my curiosity to learn and grow further in the field of sustainability, let's say. And I've always had that passion to serve the community since I was a kid. So I've always liked to volunteer and be out to serve the community, provide help as much as I can. And when I've entered the career path, it has grown my passion further and further to one of the things that I really enjoy doing, which is empowering youth. As a youth, serving youth, understanding our need, and connecting with all of the youth around the world, and being part of this change is something that I'm very much grateful for. And I would like to share with you maybe a short story that I had back then as a mission back in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. One of the activities that we've done there was the scuba diving experience. And the thing is, interesting fact, I don't know how to swim. So we went there on a boat, and I wasn't really planning to do anything, just to sit and chill and enjoy the sea.
Right.
So what happened is my colleague came in and was like, by the way, you're going to swim. You're going to dive. I'm like, there's no way. I don't know how to swim. He's like, well, you don't need to know how to swim because you actually go under the water. I'm like, but I'm afraid of the sea. He said, you will have a training professional with you, and there will be around 5 people around you to make sure that nothing happens to you. So I had this overthinking and hesitated to do it or not,
Understandably.
And overthinking really destroys a lot of opportunities in life. So I was like, Sheikha, don't overthink. It's a great opportunity. You're going to enjoy it. Just do it. So I felt the fear, but did it anyhow. And this is the moment where not only through the scuba diving experience, but throughout my life career journey, stepping out of my comfort zone was something that I've always struggled with, but I've always had passionate about that really shaped into the person I am today, which is Sheikha. So this is how I would end it with, who am I?
Well, that's incredible. And, in a few words, you touched on many important ideas. I like when you say that there was fear, which is very understandable, actually, in the scenario of scuba diving when you don't swim. But you did it anyway.
Yes. And it's a quote that I have and I keep repeating it to everyone. Feel the fear, but do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that?
To be honest, it took me time. But what I've done was that I stopped overthinking. As I said, overthinking destroys a lot of opportunities in life. So you never know what you are capable of until you take that step. So I would advise you not to fear,
Not to overthink.
not to overthink. Just do it.
We're
Feel the fear.
researchers,
It is normal to feel the fear, but do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's very profound. Sheikha, again using your own words, in the year of COP28, we have many definitions of sustainability. Did you see how I killed Masdar?
Yeah, I love the way you did it.
Got rid of Masdar.
No, I love Masdar. It's no, truly, it is one of the reasons why I'm here standing in front of you. Honestly speaking, I'm a person who's always feared to go out of my comfort zone. And one of the things that I was taught at Masdar is how to always stay out of your comfort zone, which has really growth my knowledge and skills in that field. And now today, I can freely come and speak anywhere.
Yeah, that's very
Before,
interesting.
I was very terrified, and having the idea of me speaking is like me having a nightmare for a week thinking about it.
Really?
But now I'm like, I just like had the chance to look at the notes and the questions like this morning.
Yeah, I mean that's
And because it's something
Very
that
natural.
you know it by heart. It's your expertise. So,
that's the difference.
but it's like because it's a podcast, so I'm trying my best to say to pick the right words for
Right
it
messages.
to make sure it's powerful, and it's not about quantity. It's about quality.
About the quality. Yeah. This is very important. Sheikha, in the year of COP28, we've inevitably heard political and technical definitions of sustainability, with the mitigation, adaptation, finance, and other thematic elements. But we're interested to hear from you. What does sustainability mean to you?
Steve, if you've asked me 5 years ago, I would have answered a very basic answer with not having a knowledge back then. And by the way, as you've mentioned earlier, I've majored in integrated strategic communication, which has nothing to do with sustainability. But what was interesting was that all of the opportunities that came across me and the job opportunities was related to sustainability, which made me very curious and thinking maybe this is the path that I need to take.
Right.
And that's what I did. So I'm like, let's do it. And then if you asked me back then, I would have answered you, it's an environment or something that is green. Today, sustainability has a different definition. It's much bigger than that. And I always like to start with the late founding father, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. He used to live his life sustainably in all three pillars, let's say, social, economical, and environmental. So sustainability is a lifestyle. Sustainability is the actions that we take in our day-to-day life. It's what determines our future, the future of the next generation, and the future of our planet. So to me, sustainability is leaving our ego on the side and thinking of our planet as our home and family, a place where we want to live peacefully, a place where we want to raise our kids, connecting with nature, enjoying the beauty of nature, and just getting this fresh air. So we are here to continue where Sheikh Zayed has started, to continue the legacy until the next generation comes in and takes the lead. And this is what I believe as an individual is my role on this planet, is to serve my country and the overall planet for the next generation to come.
Very well said, Sheikha. Very well said indeed. We've seen over the past few years, I don't know how many exactly, but there's been a profound institutional shift and policy shift in terms of youth not only being involved in, as peripheral players, but being at the table and often driving and leading decision making. So this is very different to 20 years ago or even 10 years ago, and it's a wonderful thing. Can you describe why it's so important for youth to be responsible citizens and active citizens within the climate change discourse?
Well, today it's important for youth to understand the vision of the country, to understand what is lacking today. And when I say that is that you could still pursue your passion and dream, but deep diving and researching into which area you need to focus more on to serve the purpose of the overall objective of the country, let's say sustainability goals. Education, let's say for example, I am interested in engineering. So I would like to deep dive more into the area of engineering, and which area I need to focus more on that is lacking in the country that needs to be served. So this is why you're serving your passion, but at the same time you are also serving the community. Education is key. And when I say education, it is not only the things that we study at school. It is way beyond that. It's us being eager as youth and curious to ask why. Because our planet today is at risk. All of the worlds are coming together to achieve the SDG by 2030. And if you're looking at it, we are not even halfway of achieving that goal. So, as a youth, we are the future, and we are responsible for this planet. We are the next generation, and we need to step up and take that action. And in order to advance in the sustainability agenda, young people need to be innovative, bold, and collaborative. The future of jobs and green jobs in the future will require skills in science, agriculture, green engineering, and technology. According to the 2030 skills, in order to success in the career work, it will include adaptability, resilience, and leadership. So are you as a youth curious and eager to achieve the green jobs? Are you willing to develop develop the emotional intelligence to educate the next generation or children about the importance of sustainability? You might tell me yes, but how? Okay, as a how, Steve, in the past year, maybe back in high school, we didn't have this awareness or education as we have today, or the opportunities that is provided for us today. And having said that, nowadays, if you ask a grade 2 or someone, a 10 years old boy or a girl, what is sustainability, they'll be able to speak about it forever. In fact, they will also be out there taking that step and sharing their voice. I know a lot of young entrepreneurs who is only less than 10 years old, who are climate advocates. Entrepreneurs. And I can say one of those names is Ghalia. She's one of the advocates of climate advocate. She steps up since she was a kid. She always shares her voice. She's always involved everywhere. And you know, there's also a lot of massive global conferences around the world that youth can take advantage of. And there's a lot nowadays youth programs and initiatives that young people can take part of. And one of those initiatives that I have in mind is the Youth for Sustainability. Programs like Youth for Sustainability is very impactful and important for youth to help them reach their goals and potentials. Such programs like this and being involved in these programs, it will help you develop your skills and knowledge to help you further develop your skills and potentially reach your sustainability goals. And not only that, platforms, be involved. I would advise you to be part of platforms that help you share your voice, voice out your ideas, take action, and really get educated on climate change crisis. So this is, I hope that I've answered your question.
More than answered, and you've also given me a great idea. I think we have to bring that 10-year-old entrepreneur onto the podcast.
Yes.
Right? So she can...
Sorry, her name is Ghaya.
Okay.
Ghaya.
We'll make
Ghaya
a note of it.
Al-Ahbabi. Yeah.
We're all about different perspectives. That's what gives life to to research and discourse and all these things. So why not? If she's 10 and she has something to say, we'll bring her.
Yeah, she would be a great fit to this show.
Terrific. Now, the UAE by now is considered one of the global leaders in terms of policy and technology in the entire decarbonization, of course, climate diplomacy universe. And in many ways, UAE youth reflect that leadership through people such as yourself and your activities and your commitment. What are the necessary activities and actions now, and in particular after the COP28 conference, to make sure that we don't lose the great momentum that we have? How do you see youth beginning to organize after COP28?
Okay, so as the world grapples with the impact of climate change, we're also looking into collective momentum towards tackling it. And I would say one of those things are evident in the UAE itself. And I would say one of the greatest investment in the UAE is youth. Youth are our greatest asset as we look forward to achieve the sustainability agenda. This year was declared as the year of sustainability. And earlier this year, Abu Dhabi has hosted one of the largest global gathering in the world, Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, which attracted over 13,000 delegates, heads of states, innovators, entrepreneurs from all around the world coming together to share their knowledge, showcase innovation, and outline strategy as we work together to achieve the net zero emission. And in less than 2 weeks' time, the UAE will be hosting the UN Climate Change Conference, COP28. So you see, as climate change poses challenges, it also provides opportunities for young, passionate young people who is eager to make a change. So I would advise young people, aside of that, this conference is very important. This is where all of the people around the world come together to look into what has been achieved as a Paris Agreement and what are we planning to do to take this forward to the next COP. So every voices matter. The voice of youth matters. We are all responsible and we all need to step up and take the most out of it. And one thing I would also advise youth is to collaborate, network, build on your network, connect with like-minded people. These type of things will always come up with results such as maybe coming up with an innovative solutions or maybe opening your online entrepreneur that will help you achieve your the sustainability goals or one of the causes that is happening nowadays, the climate change.
Networking is key, right?
Networking is key. Collaborate and network.
Especially since now we're going to have international youth delegates, participants. Imagine what an opportunity.
Exactly.
It's going to be amazing. I know that you're going to be there.
Of course.
For the entire 2 weeks.
Of course. I'll be there.
Sheikha, I'm convinced that the older we get, the perspective changes. You've touched on this a little bit, with the ability to just proceed with your plans, right?
Exactly.
And we tend to, from my generation, maybe tend to overanalyze and be really sure that what we're doing is correct and is going to work and all that before we do it. Climate change is defined as a wicked problem. Have you heard that before? It means very, very complex.
Yes.
Complex, uncertain outcomes, many, many variables. And when we contemplate that, exactly in your words, we might feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of the change that's required, and there's no doubt that a big change is required.
Exactly.
So how would you describe the role of youth in initiating this change, not only for youth but globally?
I would say a change is always a challenge. It's not easy. It will require time, but looking at it in a long milestone, looking at the vision, will help you manage that day by day planning. So baby steps, you don't need to jump big or to start with something big. It could be something very basic, like for instance, going out there. You know, there's a lot of organizations now out there who are doing a lot of activities related to sustainability. One of them may be cleaning the beach,
Right.
to save the marine life. Uh, Going out there to the mangroves, looking at the beauty of nature at the mangroves, planting something, having a recyclable plastic, a bag in front of your home just to recycle. Those basic habits will grow. And maybe you can also grow that within the children themselves. So they grow with having this passion of sustainability and, let's say, feeling the responsibility towards it. So for instance, if your child's school is just next to your door, why don't you, instead of taking the car, they can actually use the bike and go there, or maybe go walking. So these tiny steps will make a big difference and would save a whole planet.
There are changes to behavior, actually.
Exactly.
What you're talking about.
So it's a behavior a habit. Having the sustainability mindset will save a lot of lives.
We say the behavior or culture is very difficult to change, more difficult than a country's laws.
Exactly.
The laws are quite easy to change, right?
Laws,
Yeah, can
We
be
can
changed,
say.
new regulations.
it
new
depends.
laws. Not all of them. But changing culture and behavior is so difficult. And that's why people like yourself, Sheikha, are so necessary and important, because you drive change. Sheikha, we've covered a lot of ground already, and much of that ground has had to do with ideals and idealism for the future, which is, people sometimes say, often close to a dream. So inevitably I have to ask, for the future, what's your dream?
Oh, that's a very interesting question that I always ask myself. To answer this question, I would say a change maker. Serving my community to achieve, or even if it was something very small, taking part of this change is something that I am very much honored to do. And my passion to empower the next generation will continue to ensure that the life that we are living today is how the next generation will be living. So I want to be a change maker.
Sheikha, you've drawn many different elements together in today's conversation. And in a sense, we've come full circle. You started with change and the notion of service of the community, and we've ended with change and the notion of service and the community and the future generations. So it's a beautiful statement. And what I said at the beginning about the alignment between your personal values and your work is absolutely true in your case, and we can see that clearly.
And maybe what I will also say once again, feel the fear, but do it anyhow.
Overcome the fear.
Overcome the fear. Stop thinking. Just do it.
Sheikha, thank you very much for being here with us today. You've given messages that are useful and practical and aspirational for the future. And if that doesn't make a sustainable change, then nothing will. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.